to Takamine-san this week, bro. No episode. And I heard from random sources that Crunchyroll is second guessing themselves. You know how they basically like debut the first episode full on nipples, uncensored. They're like, take it. But then after episode 2, and episode 2 didn't have any nipples, so I guess there's no issues there. But episode 3, I'm gonna assume there are nipples coming in. And now they're thinking that, maybe we should be censoring? What's going on, Chibi? Let me know.
I got some bad news to cover today that is affiliated with Crunchyroll, and also please put them on, as you can see on screen here. If you zoom in on the left and you look at this right here, you will see that the next episode, or the latest episode, Please Put Them On, has been delayed until next week on April 22nd, 2025.
Meaning, are we... What do you mean? It's 2020. At 2025. Anyways, are we gonna get 2 episodes then? It's been delayed. Like, I'm gonna assume that it's... Has it already launched? Honestly, I haven't even checked on the high seas if it's like out already. But are we gonna get 2 episodes back to back then immediately on that week?
At first glance, this might not seem like too big of a deal. Episode delays and hiatuses and stuff are pretty typical. Usually it might be production issues, or it might be a holiday. Who really knows? However, for those that are out of the loop and don't know what's going on, I will give some clarification. For one, the episode that was delayed, aka episode 3, has already aired in Japan. For instance, if you go out of your way to probably watch the episode or series in other ways besides using Crunchyroll, you will easily find it.
Alright, it's already out on the high seas.
However, when it comes to official sources, aka Crunchyroll, there is no legal way to currently watch episode 3, which is very suspicious because to this very point, Crunchyroll hasn't given any reason or actual information on why the delay happened. It could be speculation that it could be maybe some form of translation issue or something else more nefarious behind the scenes, which I will cover in a second, which is the main subject of discussion for this video. However, this announcement happened 2 days ago, aka on Wednesday of this week, and people have been wondering, okay, when's the episode going to come out? And as you can see, officially, it's supposed to come out next week, which is odd. Like I said, the episode is out in Japan. There's a lot of people currently making articles about it, talking about what's going on here, or what Crunchyroll is potentially doing, why this has happened to begin with. There's a lot of conversation around it, as you can see.
Yeah, people are asking.
Even an email that apparently Crunchyroll sent out to someone that kind of gives information.
Oh my goodness, email got leaked? Okay, let's go. Man, is anime titties that serious? It's kind of funny if you think about it, huh? That like we're up in flames, like, man, there is some controversy drama happening because of anime nipples.
On what exactly is happening here.
Okay.
So let's read this first before we go any further, and then we'll get into the main topic of the video. So basically, someone emailed Crunchyroll about the delay of Please Put Them On, and this is what they finally responded with literally yesterday. Hi, Tony. Thanks a bunch.
Oh, I thought this is like internal emails being leaked. No. Someone outside emailed Crunchyroll for like a request, and they responded? I'm kind of surprised that they responded to the emails. I thought they were just ghost.
For reaching out. I totally get where you're coming from when a highly anticipated episode gets delayed. It's natural to have questions, especially with a series like Please Put Them On. To clarify, Crunchyroll doesn't censor or alter the content we stream.
Yep.
We aim to present shows just as they're broadcasted on Japanese.
That's right, they're just distributing.
In some cases, this means this version we receive may be the one originally aired on television, which can sometimes differ slightly from later home releases.
AKA nipples or no nipples.
As for episodes 3 through 12, aka the episode that was delayed this past week, while we don't have specific confirmation on whether they will follow the same format as earlier...
Again, as in nipples or no nipples. I love the corporate speak here over something so fucking stupid, because, you know, in a professional email, they can't just be like, hey, Tony, I got some bad news for you, man. The anime titties, listen, we can't control it. I can't convince you. I can't confirm if we're gonna have nipples or no nipples, but like the wording, the verbiage around it, the formatting, that's pretty funny to me.
Your episodes, I've gone ahead and shared your feedback and interest with the relevant team. Your voice as a fan really does matter to us, and we want to make sure you get the best possible viewing experience.
Dope Crunchyroll!
Thanks again for being a part of the Crunchyroll community. If you have any more questions or just want to talk anime, we're always here. Wishing you an awesome rest of your week. Ryu, Customer Service Team, Crunchyroll.
Say what you will about Crunchyroll being a shit company. Ryu from the customer service team, dub. Nice email. Very thoughtful, very polite. Obviously, they're trying to be nicer. Duh, they want to look good. And we all know Crunchyroll's going down a shithole. But hey, Ryu is not the company. Ryu is an employee there just doing their best. And I think this email is fantastic. What a nice email.
So this picture is an email apparently from...
1 second. Audio issues. 1 second. 3, 2, 1, and let's get back to it.
Crunchyroll themselves. I don't know if this is complete 100% true email or not, but usually this kind of does line up with what Crunchyroll would say, especially with them trying to say that they don't censor content. More or less, they just air the stuff that's broadcast on TV. This sounds like a very typical Crunchyroll response, which I am surprised Crunchyroll even responded. Typically, they remain silent. But let's get into the main topic of what this means. So, ever since the episode was delayed this past Wednesday, there's been a lot of conversation that Crunchyroll is about to censor Please Put Them On with the upcoming episodes.
But hold up. Their wording is, we don't censor or alter the content we stream. We simply present the shows as they're broadcasted on Japanese TV. Right? So if Japanese TV is blasting them nipples, then Crunchyroll will also be doing the same. If Japanese TV is censoring the nipples, then Crunchyroll too will be censoring, because they are simply distributing what they've got, right? They don't make the content. They're given the source and they stream that shit. Anybody watch the illegal release? Any pirates in chat that can confirm if Japanese TV release, show the nipples? Because depending on that, right? It's uncensored? Okay, it's uncensored. So then, by Crunchyroll's definition of the email, by next week, it better be uncensored, or else they're fucking lying.
Censor, Please Put Them On with the upcoming episodes. And this is very reminiscent of a previous time period from a few years back that some of you might remember, some of you might not, but I'm talking about the anime series Interspecies Reviewers.
I get often a lot of requests to react to that anime. I have a decent idea of what's going on with that anime. I don't know if we're gonna be reacting, but oh god, it's a very fan servicey, borderline hentai anime, right?
If you know, you know. Basically, Interspecies Reviewers was an anime that Funimation picked up, and you're probably wondering, okay, Funimation, Crunchyroll, two different companies. Not really. As we know, Funimation was merged into Crunchyroll.
There are two now,
basically, Interspecies Reviewers was picked up. It was getting an English dub. It was getting a translation. It was pretty much fully uncensored. It was wild stuff. It really took the internet by storm. Nuxtaku made a video on it. It became the #1 anime on my anime list, and it brought into...
What? It defeated Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood? Really? Well, the rating, I guess, dropped down back after that, right? But it was #1 for a bit? That's hilarious.
Questioned the whole site and all sorts of stuff like that. But the point of the matter is that Interspecies Reviewers became a very big talking point and controversial, which also caused Funimation to become aware of it, and then they swiftly removed the series from their site. They no longer were willing to allow the series to release officially on their site anymore because of the content that it was covering, which brought into more...
Like, was there explicit acts going on? Like, are you seeing actual intercourse, or is it just nipples? They showed it. They're pumping. They stroking and pumping. It's going in and out. Actually, like High School DxD, for example. That's just nipples, Chain Soldier, Takamine, there's basically these animes where it's just nipples, right? Gushing over magical girls, right? But there was oh wow, they were fucking. I thought that they would like allude to it, but wow, okay.
Conversation or controversy for Funimation that they actively pick up anime and they don't even actually cross-check what they're picking up. They just grab as many licenses as they can to be able to kind of, I guess, starve their competitors, aka at the time, to starve, let's say, Crunchyroll or starve High Dive. You get the point.
They were just casting the widest net possible, and then realized that the fish they caught, oh boy, They did not expect it to be interspecies reviewers.
Funimation basically exposed themselves that they were just picking up series, not really knowing what content it was, not doing any research, just picking them up for they can make as much money as possible. It showcased this disconnect with the community, and obviously it met with a lot of backlash. People did not like what Funimation did. I made many videos on other.
Yeah, they should have stood on business and just said, fuck it, we just go ride or die with interspecies reviewers. They back down, man, that makes them look so bad. Not only does it make them look fraudulent in terms of they didn't even know what kind of animes they were picking up, meaning they're so like out of touch. They don't even know, right? And then on top of that, to backtrack on that, you're just like looking, that's like a double whammy. Should have just stood on business.
Other anime content creators did. It was a big talking point. But anyways, why this is similar to the current situation, or why there is fears that it might be similar to the current situation, is because Takamine has become a big talking point as of late. There has been a lot of posts, not just, let's say, on Twitter, but just online in general, with the conversation of Crunchyroll allowing content like that on their platform, even though...
Yeah, a lot of people are like, Crunchyroll dub, wow, the rare Crunchyroll dub, I can't believe they actually had the balls to, you know, let the nipples fly.
They do have other series that are kind of explicit as well on their platform already, so I don't know why, you know, please put them on as being singled out when you have, like, for instance, you know, Yosuga no Sora still on Crunchyroll. Please don't take that down, Crunchyroll. Please, it's a good series. But what I'm trying...
Another series that I constantly get told to react to, but nope, we're gonna wait on that.
Thing to say is that with the unexpected delay, even though the episode's already aired in Japan, it implies that Crunchyroll going forward is going to start releasing, as you can see here on screen, a less censored but not a completely uncensored version. For instance, what we
Eternal Virgin Road. Recap of the virgins in Japan. TV broadcast, journal streaming censored. Special streaming less censored. What is less censored versus uncensored? What the fuck does that really mean? So I guess the TV broadcast, journal streaming, there will be maybe even like black bars completely covering the boobage. And special streaming less censored is, rather than black bars, now it's just like hair or just absence of nipples, you know, using like steam and all these other tricks. And Eternal Virgin Road is what we got in episode 1.
Version. For instance, what we've been seeing for the first 2 episodes that's been on Crunchyroll has been basically the uncensored version of Please Put Them On. However, it seems like episode 3, with the way the broadcasting is lined up with this post, you know.
Man, the thing that really stands out to me is how it's basically now we can guess that episode 3 is insane fan service, right? Because episode 2, they didn't have an issue with it because there was no nipples in that episode. Yeah, the main character did, you know, put his knee up the girl's coochie, but that's not really, that's basically censored, right? You don't see anything. Episode 3 sounds like there's quite the fan service happening. I am excited.
You know, kind of mentioning it, it's being lined up with the release of the less censored version, but the version that is coming out, or would be potentially on Crunchyroll, will be basically these chibi versions of characters put over parts to censor said moments.
Chibi characters.
It would be less censored. You wouldn't have like these solid mist or rays of white light, but it still would be theoretically censored. So it seems like Crunchyroll is kind of backing away from the uncensored version and potentially going to be having a new format for the show.
Cowards!
Which I think is just honestly crazy. It's damage control, and I don't know why they would do it, because it's like they already have a warning label on it, literally saying it's 18 plus right here.
Hey, what the fuck is going on? Is it because of, what's it called? Advertisers? The people, sponsors saying this shit and being like, no? I mean, there's a label on it. It's perfectly fine, is it not?
As you can clearly see, it literally says that the content has, like, you know, warnings right here on it. You could see the conversation about it here. So it's not like Crunchyroll doesn't tell you. So the fact that this is happening feels like Crunchyroll more or less just pulling a Funimation when it comes to interspecies reviewers.
Lame.
But not going as far as to completely remove it. So I think that this is just really bad. This is bad stuff for them to do if they...
At the end of the day, there's always going to be 2 crowds here. And it's so unproductive. There's gonna be people that's gonna say, wow, you're such like virgin incels. Like, you can't watch anime if there's no fan service. Fucking losers. This isn't about anime titties. It's not. It is and it's not, right? When you come out, like, I always hear this shit, right? And it's also in video game, you know, industries too, when people complain about ugly looking characters and how, like, why would you do this? And then a bunch of fucking woke mob shows up and says, loser, incels, man, y'all really can't play a fucking game if you're not horny, huh? It's just like, no. It's about, exactly, it's about a precedent that it sets. These type of censorships acts as like a mining canary, as in these are signals of like, oh, if we can get away with this, what else can we censor moving forward? That's why all type of censorship is just bad, because of the precedence it sets and what kind of like censorship that can happen in the future. But so many people will take examples of this and simply just blast the weebs and say, just a bunch of virgin incel losers that are crying because no nipples. Wham, go just jack off and watch something else. But it's not about that. It's so unproductive when I see tweets like that from happening.
They really are going through with it. I hope that this is just being overblown and it's just maybe some form of translation issue. Maybe they weren't able to translate in time or something. Hopefully it's something like that. But it's appearing that Crunchyroll is going to be censoring, you know, please put them on going forward, which is bad because I literally praised them like 2.5 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, saying, good job, Crunchyroll, you took...
And that was our mistake, bro. Praising Crunchyroll. We should be very aware. I mean, that's why it's called a rare Crunchyroll dub. Why do you think it's rare, man?
A massive win. I mean, I made a video on it. A lot of people were happy, and a lot of people started the series because of it. And the fact that they are potentially going to air
boycott Takamine, L Crunchyroll.
A lesser version is not good. I'm just going to be completely blunt. It basically makes the entire situation that they've been doing null and void. Like, any win they got this past month is just gone now. Because if they really do go out of their way and they censor the said content and they straight up, like, air a lesser version, there's no point in watching it on Crunchyroll anymore. It's like, just go the other way. Like,
exactly. Straight up, it doesn't do them any good. People will just go on the high seas just for the nipples. Again, it's just like everything is not... It's a fucking service issue at the end of the day, the whole pirating stuff.
This gets back into the issue, a service issue and all that.
What did I say?
It's like, Crunchyroll, you're getting some goodwill back. Like, as much as they probably want to protect their brand image, like, oh, we don't want to, you know, be seen as airing stuff like this, but it's like, you have series on your platform that is very similar to this, okay? It's because it's a new series is why you're probably taking action on it, and it's just, I don't like this double standards. I don't like how they are. It's very hypocritical.
It is.
And if that...
It honestly does them no favors. The more they try to be like, I don't know what the fuck they're even thinking. Like, do they even realize what kind of brand image they have? Their public relations is so bad. Everyone is dunking on this platform. L Crunchyroll, bro. There has been so many drama leading up to this shit, right? Remember the mail theft shit with the voice actor? Remember the removing the comments and removing selections? The whole like taking in Funimation and the, you know, service, the service is getting worse and worse, but the prices are also getting increased. Like, what the fuck is going on, right? It's terrible. And then there's also the woke translating, right? The subs are suddenly changing, and there's also sometimes just inaccurate, just completely messed up subs. ReZero, for example, right? So like already you're looking so bad and you're trying to protect your brand image by trying to censor an NSFW show when you clearly, I guess they don't know that a bunch of weebs, they're a bunch of degenerate otakus that want to watch this. And to just throw away such an easy fucking like, it's like an underhanded toss, you know? It's a nice little softball that's been given by Takamine-san, and they could have just aired that shit. But I don't know who at the very top pressured them to do this shit. But terrible overall. This does not protect your brand image. Like, you think that this is gonna make your brand look clean, family friendly? None of that shit matters. You don't even know who your target audience is, and you're dissuading them.
Really is the case. It's just not good, man. Once again, there is no confirmation at this moment that that is going to happen, but it is appearing very likely. There's about
We'll see when it comes, you know, next week. Will there be nipples or not? We'll see.
An 80% chance that is exactly what's going to happen. There is going to be a censored version that Crunchyroll is going to start using, and it all lines up with the dates right now. But we will see. We shall see. Once Wednesday rolls around this upcoming week, I'll probably make a separate video discussing it. But I guess I will leave it at that for the time, you know, at this moment, because right now it's just speculation, theory crafting. But please, Crunchyroll, don't go back and taking L's over.
They're gonna fuck up.
You're kind of getting a little bit of goodwill this month. Don't do this. But I love you guys. Thank you.
That's pretty much it. Takamine is delayed because of potential censorship issues. Crunchyroll says they do not censor. But, you know, I guess there are going to be different versions, right? Recap of the versions of Japan, and Crunchyroll, rather than censoring, they will choose which one to distribute. You know what I'm saying? So it's a very interesting wordplay where they themselves aren't the ones censoring, but they will choose the one that is censored, if possible, to look brand friendly, which honestly makes their brand look even worse because their target audience does not care about family-friendly shit. They're a bunch of degenerate otaku weebs who want to see Takamine nipples. And if you're gonna take this shit away and backtrack, just more L's, bro. Just eternal virgin L's across the board. Please go check out Chibi's video. Thank you for recapping and letting me know what's going on. And I'll see you next time.